Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Mark Malash. I'm the head of operations at K4 Mobility, and we would like to welcome everyone to our webinar. We are going to be reviewing today all of our existing products, services, software, and the value that we bring to the maritime industry. We also will have some roadmap items and some use cases as to how we can further assist and aid our customer base by using our hardware and software. I would like to first introduce our three speakers. Jared Simon will lead off the product discussion. He's our Director of Product Management. Robert Blackman is our Operations Manager. He will be going through some of our software UI interface. And then we have Justin Smith, our Director of Solutions Engineering. He will be going through several use cases that we find will be effective in how you can use our products and services to better add value and make your life easier when it comes to managing your WAN interfaces. We will also be, there's a Q&A chat box at the top of the Zoom meeting. And if you would like, please enter your questions as we go through the presentation. We have somebody, Brian Lauer is actually, he's our CTO, and he will be fielding those questions, and any questions that we feel are relevant that we want to discuss at the end, we will have plenty of time for a Q&A at the end of the session. We also expect to post this on social media after the event. We're recording it, and we'll be able to share it that way as well. Thank you very much for joining us. And at this stage, I will hand it over to Jared Simon.
Thanks, Mark. Hello, everyone, and welcome to K4's April 2022 webinar. My name is Jared Simon. I'm the Director of Hardware here at K4 Mobility. And I'll start here with an agenda of the webinar. So first, we're going to give you an overview of K4 and tell you about our mission in maritime. We'll give you an overview of our hardware products, jump into software features and functionality, talk about the types of problems we can help you solve, and then do a Q&A and wrap up at the end. So to start off, who are we? K4 is a technology company whose mission and vision is to make access to wireless internet easy. When we say wireless internet, we include all wireless links to the internet. That's satellite-based and terrestrial wireless, 4G, 5G, any way you can connect. K4 was founded 3 years ago by entrepreneurs and wireless pioneers who built and grew GoGo, the in-flight Wi-Fi company. But this time, we decided to start with the maritime market, as the market is much bigger and the connectivity needs are more acute. And what do we offer? We offer two major categories of products. First, integrated hardware and software that gets installed on vessels for wireless internet access. We call these products the K4 Edge. I'll tell you more about 4 different types of Edge products that we have. We also offer bandwidth or airtime, both satellite and 4G, 5G. In addition to the traditional bandwidth subscriptions, we offer unique blended internet packages where you get both VSAT and LTE for the price of just one. We sell both of these products to the maritime market through distribution partners. Distribution partners have the choice of buying only our K4 Edge solutions and combining it with their own airtime or bandwidth if they want. For the rest of the webinar, though, we'll focus on the K4 Edge products only and tell you how our technology is disrupting the maritime market already. You can reach out to us through our website if you're interested in our bandwidth airtime offerings. We also plan to cover those, but in a separate webinar. All right, so K4 is an optimized global connectivity solution. We offer the best connectivity and the power to choose data at the best price. And the heart of that is our K4 Edge as a service. We have a Konnect application, which gives you automated remote access and management, making it simple to connect to any individual client or to manage a fleet of vessels from a single intuitive interface. There's also advanced mapping and mobility that uses machine learning and telemetry to pick the best network for the location and conditions, which ensures your clients are getting the highest throughput available. And we have advanced bandwidth bonding. We can aggregate discrete links automatically and present data as a single consolidated resource. And of course, we have quality of service and prioritization that allows intelligent network planning and the flexibility to set rules and monitor data allocations to clients and user groups. So as we jump into our hardware products, all of K4's products provide an easy-to-use interface with powerful controls and metrics, coupled with high-performing hardware. The heart of our products is the Edge server, and this second version, the K4 Edge Server 2, is an industrial server and router platform with a fanless design. It can be installed almost anywhere. As we move over to the product details, you'll see that Edge Server 2 lets you manage up to 7 distinct WAN sources. That's multiple VSAT terminals, hardline Ethernet, various Wi-Fi routers, LTE, 5G modems, anything with the Ethernet port really. K4's Edge platform means you have direct access to control all of these systems. You can access through VLANs and access rules, set limits on data usage by device or user group, and all of this is simple to use through a powerful GUI. Next up is our OneBox. This is a full-featured integrated server and router platform. When we developed the OneBox, we saw vessels had server rooms with multiple discrete systems, all needing to be connected together, but managed separately. The OneBox integrates vessel connectivity and management into a single system, streamlining and consolidating work to a single platform. And over to the product details, OneBox has 4 integrated cellular modems with our 12-to-1 SIM switching technology. Allows you to route any of 12 SIM cards to the 4 modems. But it isn't simple 2 SIM failover capability. It's powerful carrier selection and redundancy. Plus, it gives you geometric diversity. You can have multiple antenna deployments. And on top of that, the OneBox has 2 VSAT modems integrated inside. You can control the VSAT ACUs and data streams in a single location from a single user interface. And of course, with bandwidth bonding, you can aggregate all of these data streams into a single pipe. And for vessels with legacy systems, there's even an integrated phone bank and VoIP gateway. Next up is our Edge One platform. This is a really flexible device. It provides all of K4 Edge services and management capability in a hardened industrial platform. It's got a Cat12 LTE modem with integrated 8-to-1 SIM switching. It allows users to load all of their SIMs and switch between them with a simple web-based user interface. In addition to global coverage and always-on connectivity, this tech gives you the power to avoid roaming charges by choosing the most economical carrier for the given location. And over on the product details for the Edge One, you can see we also provide integrated Wi-Fi with GNS, GPS location, and external Ethernet inputs to manage WAN sources, just like our OneBox and Edge server platforms. And finally, our flagship device, the K4 One Dome. K4 knows that antennas are really what drives throughput, so we developed a high-gain multi-modem antenna system called One Dome. The directional antennas give you high gain, but also lower noise, and that means better signal and noise ratio, higher order modulation schemes, and ultimately the power to cut through congested networks. Here's some more technical details. One Dome has Wi-Fi as well as a client or configurable as an access point, GPS, 3 integrated cellular modems, and it also runs our Edge platform. That means you get the advanced bandwidth bonding and 8-to-1 SIM selection per modem, and it's super simple to install. It's just a single Ethernet cable and a single 12-volt DC power line. It's available physically as a standalone dome or can be installed in pre-existing VSAT radomes for a symmetric look like this Intellian i5, which we also offer as an option. So those are our current products, and here's our roadmap. All the products I mentioned are in stock and available to deploy now, and we have lots of exciting new products here on the horizon. Mid-year, we plan to release One Dome plus 5G. So in addition to our high gain offshore, you'll get 5G for higher data rates in the harbor, at the marina, or close to shore. By the third quarter, we expect to have an integrated edge antenna. This is a smaller self-contained system, which has an antenna with integrated modem and router inside. It's just a single Ethernet cable and has 4G and 5G options. Looking forward to 2023, expect to see our SIM switching platform as a module that allows you to add our SIM switching and carrier selection technology to existing installs. And further out, our Edge Ascent incorporates high data rate cellular with low data rate satellite for robust connectivity and always-on monitoring and control. As we discussed in the beginning, the heart of our offering is really the K4 Edge platform. So here's Robert to give you an overview of our software and functionality.
Thank you, Jared. Hello, everyone. As mentioned by Mark earlier, my name is Robert Blackman, and I'm the operations manager here at K4. I'm going to go over a few features of our software in the next couple of slides, There's too much really to fit into this intro webinar, so we're happy to go deeper in depth with customers as needed. And please look out for our upcoming webinars. And also don't forget the Q&A section in today's webinar. So let's take a look where most customers will start off. That's on our configuration. What sets K4 apart is our K4 Edge as a Service software platform, abbreviated to KaaS. KaaS is integrated into all K4 solutions. And unlike many SD-WAN solutions on the market, we offer a simple configuration wizard on all our products with five key steps. Those are WAN links, where you can set up numerous WAN links such as VSAT, LTE, Wi-Fi, or hardline, regardless of the ISP or hardware used. Access networks for configuration with your existing networks to set up new VLANs, perform all those functions that any DHCP server would. WAN profiles for link priority, failover, and bonding with simple drag and drop functionality and the ability to make as many or as few profiles as needed. Traffic policies, which can be for bandwidth management, application control, and general traffic shaping. We'll go deeper into this with Justin in just a few moments. And finally, other settings for more advanced items such as static routes, device policies, and multi-KaaS services. Next, let's look at some of the status monitoring options. At K4, we've designed our interface with the end user in mind, whether it's WAN links and overall health status or the connectivity details. You will see at a quick glance using simple color-coded icons if your links are up. You can also see what priority they are for failover and recovery, the ISP in use, and what volume of data is going over them real time or has gone over them for up to 30 days. This data includes average speeds, max speeds achieved for those links when utilized. Now let's see an example of some of our performance charts. We feel the K4 GUI is very intuitive compared to other solutions on the market, and the interface is cleaner and less complex. We offer several configurable views to show data in the customer's relevant time zone and not just UTC. The customer could also view performance usage real time, or as previously stated, up to 30 days historically. Performance data includes link utilization, link health such as latency, jitter, signal strength, and signal quality. And usage data includes top networks and top devices with the ability to see what applications are being used or sites visited. These features will enable customers running KaaS to have a better idea of the internet usage behavior on board and make the changes for the next best performance. Here you will see how the KaaS ecosystem has the same look and feel across all of our devices, allowing for ease of use and simple transition across products. This enables quick support, low cost of deployment, and customer confidence when using the systems. You'll see the only differences in the GUI menu are when the hardware capabilities change, such as the addition of LTE with Edge 1 and 1 Dome, or the addition of VSAT modems with 1 box. The core menu structure will always remain the same for configuration, monitoring, and reporting. Now let's look at ways you can manage your nodes. One thing we think our customers and partners will love is how easy we have made it to manage or support a vessel. We currently have 4 main ways to connect to a node. Of course, we have the local GUI on board. Here, an onboard crew member can have full access to the KaaS functionality, can monitor and change any items as needed to improve the network and internet experience. Second, we have a fully featured mobile app available for iOS and Android. With this tool, you can check connection status, network usage, upgrade airtime packages if you have the airtime through K4, and manage the devices on the network from anywhere in the world. Next, for our DPs and fleet operators, we have Konnect for PC and Mac. This gives you the ability to access the GUI with full functionality as if you're sat on board from anywhere in the world. There is no need for a public IP, VPN connection, or complex access rules. Konnect can also be used as a substitute for remote support software. You can easily set up connections to other devices on the vessel. If it can be seen by K4's device on board and has a GUI RDP, Telnet, or SSH, then you can set up a dedicated connection. Konnect can use any available WAN link. Therefore, it could act like an out-of-band management for a VSAT system, enable you to troubleshoot one link, which is down, whilst the vessel is going up over another link. Gone is the need to call a crew member to manually start the remote connection software. And then lastly, we have our service portal. This is where you can see all of the KaaS nodes managed by you as a DP or as a fleet operator from one intuitive dashboard. Here you have access to link statistics, geolocations, alerts, and support tickets. You can even contact our support directly from this portal and even from the mobile app as previously stated. Without using K4 Konnect, you can also connect to any node if it's online via the service portal. So you can see we have a lot of options trying to take the headache out of management and support of the vessels. So now I'm going to pass you over to Justin, who will go a bit deeper into some of the problems that K4 can help you guys solve. Over to you, Justin.
Thank you, Robert. My name is Justin Smith, and I'm the Director of Solutions Engineering here at K4 Mobility. As you can see, the K4 Edge software is a powerful suite of tools that you can use to solve some common challenges on your vessel today. I chose a handful of these challenges and would like to highlight exactly how the K4 software can help you solve them. Some of these may sound familiar to you as we're going through them. Feel free to ask questions in the chat. Once we get to the Q&A section, I'll make sure to answer your questions. So, one of the more common problems that vessels face today is how to prioritize VIPs. The VIP could be an owner, could be charter guests, doesn't really matter. The K4 Edge software has a few ways to deal with this. If you're in a time-sensitive situation, one thing you can do is set up some traffic policies or different profiles that you can quickly switch to and give yourself the bandwidth that you need. We've also added a quick network pause button. So what you're able to do with this is you're able to pause all non-essential access networks on the vessel. And that'll free up bandwidth for that all-important Zoom call that the owner may be on. You can also prioritize guest traffic. Let's say if you have charter guests on and they want to do music streaming in the Sky Lounge or somewhere else on the vessel, you're able to have traffic policies that will give them the bandwidth that they need. You can also set up an application policy profile, which will allow you to deny applications like software updates or file sharing, the things that we know take up most of the bandwidth. And you can do all of this in just a few clicks right within our software. When it comes to bandwidth, sometimes you may receive a high usage bill from your airtime provider and wonder, where is all your data going? The K4 Edge software can help you figure this out. First, you can use our performance charts to determine how much data was used over the last 30-day period or any period that you can select from here. You can check each WAN link connected to the K4 Edge software, and you can see the total usage for that WAN link over a time period. Second, you can use the usage status page to view the total usage per access network across each WAN link in a table format. As well as you can see each WAN link per user as well. You can drill down into this data to determine exactly the top applications in use and who used them at the time in question. So you can see the top downloads and uploads. You can see on the next screen the top domains, top IPs, all of that data is right there at your fingertips, so you know exactly what was being used. And fourth, you can use traffic policies. These will help you limit certain applications, IP addresses, domains, or users on the network. You can set upload and download limits, and you can also set your own data caps and refresh periods. And finally, you can use our alerting within the platform to get notified of high usage notifications. All right. Another common challenge that you may face today is how to provide remote access to the vessel. The K4 software has a solution for this. The K4 Konnect software will provide a secure tunneled connection to the vessel. No need to open firewall rules, add NAT statements, or anything like that. Simply define the IP address and TCP port of the application, start the connection, and click open. No need to use bandwidth heavy protocols like VNC or RDP or any of the other popular options out there. As you can see in the video here, I'm connecting to a unified USG gateway. In just a quick clicks, I'm able to access that on the vessel remotely. If you need a full tunnel VPN solution, in an upcoming release, we will be adding support for Enterprise Connect. Enterprise Connect will provide a VPN connection to any HQ office or data center anywhere in the world. So you can have a persistent connection to onboard systems if you need it. Bandwidth is a commodity in the maritime market. So how can you get more of it using the K4 Edge software? You can easily bond multiple VSAT or LTE connections together to increase your throughput. On our one dome, you can bond up to 3 LTE radios together to achieve somewhere around 700 megabits per second download speed, depending on your location. Our one box solution offers 4 LTE radios that you can bond together. And as you can see in our interface, it's a easy drag and drop options where you can put multiple LTE radios, or you can do Wi-Fi and VSAT together. You have many different options for bonding in our solution. We also support static and dynamic link bonding. And what that is, basically you can set the percentage of how much traffic you want to set on each link. You can statically do that, or you can allow our software to dynamically do that as well. Our advanced bonding feature is a lossless bonding option, which will move the traffic automatically when a link failure is detected. So after providing more bandwidth to these VIP and charter guests, it's common for those guests to ask for access to US internet services. The only problem is everything is geo-locked to the US. So our software solution can help you in this area as well. The K4 Edge software has a built-in VPN technology that can be enabled at the click of a button. This VPN will connect to our data center in the US and provide a US-based IP address. Users can access all the services from a native US IP address. And so if you need to access news websites or anything like that, you will have a native IP address. In a future release, we will be adding support for up to 9 different connections across the world. You will be able to enable the connection per access network. So these are just a handful of examples of how K4 can help you solve challenges that you have on your vessel. In our next webinar, we will do a deep dive into the software solutions and provide more examples of how we can solve some of your technical and operational challenges. Now, back to Mark Malash for the question and answer session.
Thank you very much to the speakers. Well done, everybody. And during today's session, we've covered our hardware solutions with the One Dome Edge server, the One Box, and the Edge One. We've gone through our UI and shown the advantages that the simplistic, intuitive interface provides. And Justin was good enough to go through several use cases that provide examples of where we bring value and ease when it comes to some of the challenges that the maritime market currently has. At this stage, we will open it up for Q&A, and anybody that has questions, I think that Brian has been monitoring the Q&A chat during the call. And looks like we had a few that Brian responded to. Any further, I can open up the mics if there's any verbal questions that we want to have.
So Mark, I see a question here, and maybe over to Justin on this would be, is the US the only VPN available? So US IP breakout, the only VPN available?
Today, the US IP is the only option that we have for connecting back to the US.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
I believe so, yeah. So Justin's correct. This is Brian Lauer. Justin's correct. The current solution has a network drop-off in the US. The solution we're releasing here in mid-April will support up to 9 VPN drop-offs, where you can put a VPN server based on WireGuard in any location you like. So if you want to have it in your operations center, you want to have it in the owner's enterprise environment, it's a simple process of configuring the VPN server on the far end. It's around 3 or 4 configuration steps, and the system will send one access or all access networks to that endpoint. So in the next release, you have the options to offload anywhere the vessel or the distribution partner would like to drop off the traffic securely and easily. We plan on enhancing that in the future releases with a self-awareness, kind of an auto-awareness and auto setup of the network component. But for now, we have a list of partner systems we use, which we recommend and help set up.
All right. We have a couple more coming in chat, as well as if you wanted to raise your hand with the app, we could you could also ask the question verbally. Brian, here's a question. How does load balancing work on the above single WAN at a time?
Yeah, so we do kind of two primary forms of link balancing or usage. The first is a strict priority, which Justin went over as well, which is you can set a priority 1, 2, 3, 4, and the links are used based if they're up or down. And the monitoring of up and down have several methods to monitor and can be configured in the system. So this is completely up to you on how you want to monitor it. We definitely have best practices that can be followed. So that's a strict priority where you set a priority 1, 2, 3, 4. The traffic then is sent from one link to the next link to the next link based on their establishment and the reliability if they're up. For bonding, like Justin stated, you can bond like similar links, like 2, 3 LTE links, or you can bond dissimilar links, like an LTE link and a VSAT link. And the bonding comes in 2 flavors. One is a standard bonding, which sends the traffic natively and distributes the traffic and the links. And the other one is advanced, which sends it through our PEP, our tunneling technology. And the primary difference between the two with advanced to standard bonding is advanced allows for a link to go down and that traffic is moved to the alternative link. So it has a, in quote, lossless data flow technology included. So if you have problematic links, you can have the traffic move from one link to another and maintain those connections. So the question is, how do you balance the traffic? We measure the performance of each link using some technology we developed. It's a mixture of estimating the speed of the link, the lossiness of the link, and the latency of the link. And that drives a percentage of traffic that is allocated to each link in the bonded set. And we balance the traffic based on flows, based on sockets. And this allocation, and to be clear, this allocation is done in sub-second based calculations. So it's less than a second. We make the calculation on what we think the performance of the link is and allocate traffic accordingly. So it's very real time, very dynamic in terms of traffic allocation. And it accounts for congestion, it accounts for link performance, it accounts for the reliability of the link as well.
Okay, thank you very much, Brian.
Yeah.
Robert, do you want to tackle the VLAN question?
Well, actually, there's a couple of questions here that I think are good for the wider audience. So We did have one question here saying, can you use third-party providers for 4G, 5G, or do you have to purchase airtime through K4? So in short, yes, you can use anyone's SIM cards. You can use an existing VSAT on board. So we are not locked to going through K4 for airtime. We do offer airtime packages for those people that need it. But if you have existing hardware on board or existing VSAT or existing contracts with a cellular provider, then yes, indeed, we can operate on those providers, use those SIMs in our devices such as Edge1 and OneDome. And with third-party VSAT connections, we can bring those into our devices via Ethernet and manage the link for the traffic going across that link as well.
And we do have a couple questions regarding coverage. Brian, do you want to talk about the satellite coverage that we offer?
Yeah, the satellite coverage we have partnerships with 4 major providers that provide global coverage in the KU bands. We also work with Inmarsat for their KAGX solution as well. So the coverage we provide, again, Caribbean, East Coast, not a problem, Pacific, also Europe, Mediterranean, even the Far East. Again, both operators have global. We have 2 primary operators that have global coverage. We have in the KU band, we have a 3rd operator we're bringing on now that has global coverage, but we're using it in targeted areas in the European market and also in the US and Caribbean market. And then of course we have Inmarsat that has global coverage as well. So VSAT coverage is not a problem. We have plenty of that in our service plans and offerings.
Thank you very much.
Mark, I'll happy to answer the one. So there was another one about VLANs. I think you did briefly mention it. So attendee here asked, can multiple VLANs go across different interfaces? For example, guest network across a different interface and crew across VSAT, etc. So yes, indeed. So in the WAN profile section of the software, during a configuration process, you can set priorities for different VLANs. So for example, if you had 5 VLANs and 5 WAN devices, you could actually have each VLAN going over a different WAN device. Then you can set priority on those WAN devices as well. So you could have the guest or owner or officers going over LTE when it's available with VSAT as a backup. And if you put that in priority order as LTE priority number 1 and VSAT priority number 2, it will basically fail over automatically. And then when the vessel comes closer to shore and the LTE connection restores, it will recover automatically. So it's failover and self-healing. And yes, any VLAN can be directed over different WAN sources and with different priority orders.
Thank you very much. Jared, here's a good question. Comparing our product suite with Careo.
With Careo, I'm sorry, I'm not.
So the question is does our Edge Server 2 replace the Careo device that's on the marketplace? And the answer is it is direct competition with that product, and we do have several examples of customers that have used that in lieu. We think our UI is quite intuitive compared to some of our competition without really bringing up competition name, but we do think that we have a strong differentiation and advantage over the competitive landscape in this area with our Edge Server 2 and our Edge ones.
Yeah, so let me just add to that. So in short, especially with the Edge Server 2, that can be used as a direct replacement for any other UTM or firewall out there to manage WAN links, prioritize, do deep packet inspection, etc. So you could have a customer that has existing infrastructure and is just looking to monitor and get the most out of their bandwidth, then we would recommend an Edge Server 2. And like we previously said, you need no connectivity through K4, so it could be a direct drop-in replacement for other UTM firewall appliances out there.
Thank you, guys. Let's see.
Sorry, this is Daryl. Just to add one thing too, is that for vessels that are currently operating at Carrio, we do operate in a layer 3 mode.
To Daryl's point, so that the edge server can act as a local edge router, so it can provide all local LAN services like DHCP, VLAN, inter VLAN routing, all DNS services. It can provide all broadcast DNS, all of the multicast stuff. We can do all those services for our local network, but also we can be a router that is outside of the local LAN manager, and then that router would then manage the WAN links, for example, and have routes back to the local LAN manager, be it a Carrio, be it a Meraki, etc. Yeah, exactly. Thanks, Daryl.
Okay, we have a question about security. Brian or Justin, probably the best to answer this one. Please talk about any built-in system defenses, firewalls against successful cyber attack hacks. I know this is a common question in most spaces. So Justin or Brian?
Yeah, I can take that one. So the platform does have a full firewall that we will be updating in the next release so users can create firewall rules right from the UI, but it does support a native firewall and security functions.
Yep. Yeah. To Justin's point, has a full stateful firewall. Also, we have a layer in our US data center drop-off. We have a layer 7 application firewall, and then in the data center we also have DNS content filtering, so we can block bad actor requests from the internet through our system. And lastly, on board we have a DPI where we can block and restrict bad actor IPs, bad actor domains as well. But the heart of the security layers, be it layer 2, 3, using our stateful firewall, and then the higher layers, the application layers, which are the local DPI, and in the data center, the layer 8, layer 7, pardon me, application functionality and DNS content filtering is included in the system as a whole.
There's a question about LEO and MEO networks, and I'll just answer that one. We are trying to focus on the software-defined edge, where the UI and the WAN management and the network management is our priority, to make sure that that ease of use and transparency and functionality is what we're focused on. We're a little more agnostic towards networks, so as additional networks become available and become popular and become part of the ecosystem, we will certainly support those. As we've said in the previous slides, we provide blended airtime packages when people want them, but we are also very agnostic when it comes to other WAN sources. Let's see. How is the system sold? We buy the hardware, that's obvious, but the software, yes, we have a licensing model. We can go over anybody that wants to take pricing or the sales model. We can go offline with that. We have Daryl on the phone here. He is one of our head of sales, and we have on the slide, you can see that there is sales@k4mobility.com, as well as our sales directors. So we will make sure that if you reach out to us, we can go over any of the plans that we have. Let's see, question on VoIP. I think this is probably over to Brian or Justin. Prioritize traffic, we use DSCP values. K4 have that setting because I don't see that.
Oh, what's the question on? The question is prioritization of VoIP?
Yes.
Yeah. So VoIP or any traffic can be prioritized in the network. There is a prioritization setting in access network, and I believe as well in the application space too. So if you have a server that does VoIP services, you can set a prioritization on the WAN interface. In the prioritization is abstracted, so you don't need to worry about DSCP or TOS settings. You simply need to identify the IP address or the port protocol in which the service is using, and from there you can set a priority level, and our edge system will prioritize it. We have, I think, 4 priority levels. We have VoIP, high, medium, and low. High, standard, and low, actually.
Okay. Any other questions out there? Hands raised, or I think we've answered all of them either live or typed in responses. And I do want to also add, as we close out, one of the additional values that we add is we have a 24/7 technical support group that, whether you're a customer or a distribution partner, channel partner, we are always there to support your needs and make sure that we help you walk through any configuration questions, any operational questions. And that is a 24/7 tier 1, tier 2 type model. And we're quite pleased with how we are very responsive and make sure that we're very attentive to all of the customers' needs. All of the sales contacts, as I said, are on the bottom. We will make the presentation available. We're going to post this on some social media sites, as well as we'll make sure that it's available for all of the attendees that joined today. And just wanted to take the moment to thank the speakers, as well as all of the attendees that took the time to join us. And please reach out to any of the contacts if you have any further questions. Thank you very much and have a great day.